Hello everyone, welcome back to a new class. My name is Bilikis. In today's class, we'll be learning how to make a sleeveless, straight or A-line dress with a front zipper. And trust me, it is very easy to make. I'll be making use of this Agire fabric I have here. So how did I go about the folding? I want the length of the dress to be 63 inches with seam allowance, okay, or 64. The actual length is 62. So all I did is to get the length of 62. So I made it 64 because of the hemming allowance. Then make sure you fold this way to accommodate the horizontal measurement of the largest part, which is the hip. So all you have to do is your hip divided by 4 plus extra 6 inches. So that must accommodate it, and that is how I got my folding. So you fold one for the front and one for the back. So looking at my fold here, I still have this linking it up. So by the time I finish drafting, by the time I cut it off, it separates. So I have this on fold. This will be for the front, and this at the back will be for the back. Now all I did is to first start with 1 inch here, which will be for the zipper allowance. Then you will get a long zipper. So here I have 39 inches zipper. Okay, once you get that, the first step, as I've said, 1 inch all down. Okay, after doing that, then we can start drafting. I created 1 inch here, 1 inch downward to create this line for the shoulder measurements. Now we will insert the vertical measurement. First, the armhole measurement. For me, it is 9 inches. So you can use your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5 to get your armhole. So I'll mark 9 inches. Then the waist, which is 17 or 17.5. I could use 17 to 18. So you mark that point, and then the hip, I will mark 26 and make them all in a straight line. So you can come forward and mark it again to create a straight line. I've made all those into straight lines. So this is half of my armhole measurement, waist, and then hip. So remember, the length is 63. The first thing I want to do is the 3 inches, 8 inches standard. So 3 inches, then 8 inches. At this point, I'll come down by 1 inch. Then connect from that to 3 inches. The next thing is to insert half of my shoulder measurements. That is 17 divided by 2, 8.5. So you can add half an inch seam allowance to that. So I will mark 8.5 on the slope, and then come to the armhole measurements. So make a straight line. Good. So the next thing you want to do is to insert your bust measurement. So 46 divided by 4, that will give me 11.5. Okay, so 11.5 plus 1 inch seam allowance, that will make it 12.5. For the armhole, just come up by 2.5, and at that point I'm going to come in by 3/4 inch for the front. From the armhole. So that is the front armhole, and then the back. So if you are having a sleeve, that is what you are going to have. But for me, I want to make it sleeveless. So what I will do is to come in from this shoulder tip. I will come in by 1 inch to 1.25. So it depends on how much you want it to go in. Okay, but for me, I can just do 1 inch or 1.25. Okay, So once you do that, let me do that with another chalk. I have to move the camera closer because I noticed the chalk tool was not helping. So we have marked the front armhole and the back armhole. That is if you want a sleeve, but I don't want a sleeve, it's a sleeveless. I came in 1 1/4 inch from the side. The minimum you can do is 3/4 inch, but it depends on how much you want it to come in. So the next thing I will do is to take my armhole curve and then connect from that part straight into the armhole. So in this case, you don't want, so the front or back is not needed anymore. Okay, so I'm just going to connect it. So this is now the armhole for the sleeveless. Okay, the next thing is the neckline. So for the neckline, it depends on how wide or choking you want it to be. So I can just do 3/4 or 3.5. It just depends on your preference on the slope. Then for the back, I'm just going to make it 1 inch, and then the front I'll make it 3.5. Okay. So this is the front and then the back. So that is that. So let me trace out this. The next thing is for us to add 1/2 inch seam allowance to this point, 1/2 inch. So that's the shoulder seam allowance. The back neckline here stops here, and then the front. So the front we extend it because the zipper is on the front. So having done that, you already knew how we came about the bust measurement. So now let's go to the waist. My waist circumference is 39, but I can just make it 40. So divided by 4, that will make it 10. So I can just make it 10.5, then plus seam allowance, that makes it 11.5. But it totally depends on your preference. Or let me just make it 11. So if you want it fitted or a bit loose, so with seam allowance. Now going to the hip region. My hip measurement is 48 divided by 4 is going to give me 12. So 12 inches plus seam allowance, making 13 inches. So we can connect it, then we go to the back. So let's just connect and move to the lower part. So this is front. Now let's move to the lower part. So from the hip downward. All you have to do is to take the measurement of whatever you want on the hip, which is 13 for me. So if you want it straight, just add about 2 inches to that, okay, or 1 inch to make it straight. And it's still going to be okay because the zipper is going to stop somewhere around here, which will help you to walk. But if you still want it to have like this A-line effect, just add up to 3 inches or 4 to it. So for me, I'm just going to add 3 inches to make it 16, or I can add 2 inches to make it 15. So I'll come over to the lower part and mark 15. I think 15 is fine for me. Then I'll connect all the way down. So if you want it straight, instead of that 13, so you can just make 14. So just 1 inch here. And then you connect in a straight line. I have 2 options. This is that of the 15 inches and this is that of the 14 inches. The next thing now is for us to fold this 1 inch in so that we can cut it all together. So what I will do now is to fold the 1 inch because this is only on the front. We don't have it at the back. Except you want to cut it at the back, then you have to sew it up. But I don't think that is necessary. So I'm going to fold it now and then match it up with the one at the back. I've folded it in the 1 inch and make sure it matches up. Then I can now cut it all out. So I'm cutting the back first. So can you see I only cut out the back neck first, and then I'm going to just cut it straight down. So I've cut it all out, can you see? So I've cut everything off. So here now, I can now remove this. This will be the back. Okay, so this is the back. Then I'll now come back to the front. So this is what the front looks like. So it's only the neckline we need to work with in front. So I'm just going to cut it off. So that is it, and then I'll have to slit this part open because there's going to be zipper at that point. I want to cut out the facing. You can just use bias strip to finish it up, but I want to teach you another method of facing. So just fold two fabric, just fold it, put a fabric on fold, place it and pin it down. Then I'm just going to cut this. So you can even do this before slitting the front. However you want it. I've cut it all out. You can see that. So this is the facing. So another thing is, so here I have about 3.5 inches. So what you can just do is this. Can you see the way I did that? So this will be the facing, because we are using it to finish both the neckline and the sleeve area, since it is a sleeveless dress. So this is what it is. So it's going to be slitted in two, just like how we have slitted it. So this is what we want to have for the facing of the front. There's going to be a zipper here. So let's cut the back. I've cut out the back too, so make sure the back is on fold because there's no sleeves at the back. So this is what I have. So another vital thing you should take into consideration is that of the front. They should match, they should be the same length. Okay, so the next thing is to just, so what I will do now, the same thing. So let's do something like this. And you see how it looks. So that's what you want to have. So this is what the back looks like. To start sewing, the first thing you want to do is to fix the zipper in the front. So wherever you want the zipper to stop, I have fixed the zipper and this is what it looks like. Listen attentively here. You see this type of zipper, you cannot reduce it, so you have to get the exact length of the zipper you want. Okay, fine, I would have even want something shorter, but I have to use the length of the 39 because it cannot be reduced. Okay, then I overlocked the raw edges before I fix the zipper. You can see what it looks like on the wrong side. I overlocked it before fixing the zipper. Then what will I do to the hand? All you have to do is to fold it with my pressing iron, and then I'll use hemming glue or hemming gum to just keep it in place. Once I put that, then I use steam iron on it, it sticks down. Okay, the next thing we will do now is to finish the neckline before we sew up the side. Let me show you the back. For the back, For the back, all I do is to place the facing. I overlock the raw edges too, but if you don't have, you can just fold it in. But I think overlocking it is neater and saves time. Then you hem the upper part, the neckline 1/2 inch and the armhole 1/2 inch on both sides. But do not close the shoulder here because we are going to use that to connect it together. Now, how do we fix the facing for the front? Let me show you. This is the facing for the front. Again, I overlocked everything, the raw edges. Now, just open up the zipper. So this is it. The next thing is to place it on the right side. So right side facing each other this way. Can you see? The next thing you are going to do now is to bring the zipper seam allowance out this way. Once you've brought out the zipper allowance, the next thing you are going to do is to sew up very close to the zipper, so you can use your zipper foot to do that. So very close down here. Once you do that, then you can now hem the neckline, the 1/2 inch we left. Once you do that, skip these shoulder parts. Then you finish up the armhole with 1/2 inch too, and you do the same thing to the other side. I have sewn the neckline and the armhole. This is what I have. The next thing I did is to notch it or clip it up this way, both the armhole and the neckline. And once that is done, then I can bring it out on the right side. Only that of the front. We are still going to leave the back the way it is. So this is how it's going to look like, and I'll give it a good press. So after bringing it all out, this is what you are going to have. You can zip it up, and on the wrong side you have something like this. So can you see how neatly that is formed? So I'm going to get the back, then we can join it up. So all I have to do is first is to make sure right side are facing each other. Then I will now have to put this shoulder into that of the back. So I'll do the same thing here. So I'll now have to match it up. So once you put it in, everything is going to match. Then I'm just going to sew in 1/2 inch, then we can bring it out. The same thing to this other side. I've sewn the 1/2 inch at the upper pattern. All you have to do, just pull the front and the back separate. And you see, so that is how easy that is. So the next thing you are going to do is to give it a good press, and then you see these parts, I'm going to put in hemming glue to just glue it down. Take your time to iron very well. So the last thing we are going to do now is to sew up the sides. I have cut out my pockets, which I'm going to put on the side. Okay, I will put the link at the end of this video so that you can watch how to fix side seam pockets. This is what I mean by hemming glue or hemming gum. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is to sew up the side and then hem the lower part, and the dress is ready. How do you now finish it? Just lift up this facing, match it up at the seam of the armhole, then you sew it down 1 inch, because that was what we left on the side. So 1 inch from the beginning to the end, then I would hem the lower parts. This is how beautiful it looks from the beginning to the end. So you can see the slit, and I've hemmed the lower parts. And also, very essential, your inside should be very clean. So this is what the inside looks like. Can you see? Well overlocked and well ironed. So another thing I did was to use that hemming glue to just set it all down. Can you see that? So the next thing is for me to put it on for you to see how beautiful it is. The dress is ready, and you can see how beautiful it looks like. It is swift and very easy to sew. You know, when Bilikis says it's easy, it's actually easy. With the pockets, the slits, it's just so beautiful. And my nursing mother, this should be your go-to dress. You can easily zip up, open up to show some skin, however you like it. Let me quickly show you the back. This is the back, how it looks like. So please ensure you make these outfits and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I remain your girl Bilikis. Bye guys.